All right, today we're diving into a LinkedIn ad strategy that honestly feels like a cheat code for growing a B2B business. It's a way to completely sidestep all that ad fatigue and tap into the most powerful thing any social platform has, a real, authentic human connection.
And it all comes down to this one simple idea. People trust people, not faceless logos. While most companies are still pumping out these super polished, kind of corporate ads from their company pages, there's a much smarter, much more effective strategy that's all about putting a real person front and center.
And the results? Well, they speak for themselves. We're seeing click-through rates averaging around 13% with this method. Now, let me put that in perspective for you. The average for a normal LinkedIn image ad is less than 1%. So yeah, this isn't some tiny little improvement. It's a completely different ballgame. Let's break down exactly how you can do this too.
So, in this masterclass, we're going to tear down the entire playbook. We'll start with what these thought leader ads actually are and the psychology of why they work so darn well. Then, I'm going to walk you through the exact four-step setup, we'll get into the advanced strategies that actually drive profit, and then we'll wrap up with what your brand should do next.
All right, so what is this so-called cheat code for B2B ads? Let's start with a really clear definition, because you got to understand the mechanics before you can master the strategy, right?
The idea is actually incredibly simple. Instead of building some formal ad from scratch, you find a really good organic post from a key person. It could be a founder, an expert on your team, maybe even a really happy customer, and you just put some ad budget behind it to make sure your ideal audience sees it. And here's the secret sauce. In the LinkedIn feed, this ad looks almost identical to a regular post. It feels totally native. It just flies right under that built-in ad scanner we all have because it looks and feels like useful content from another person, not some annoying ad.
Okay, so now we know what they are. Let's dig into the psychology of why they just completely dominate traditional corporate-style ads. This is where the magic really happens. I mean, the difference is just night and day. On one side, you have a pitch from some faceless company that our brains are literally trained to scroll right past. On the other side, you've got what looks like a genuine insight from a real, credible person. It just bypasses our ad blindness because we see it as content first, advertising second. And look, the data backs this up completely. A whopping 70% of B2B buyers say they engage more with content that comes from individuals, not from companies. With these thought leader ads, you're not fighting to build trust from scratch, you're borrowing it from a source your audience already knows and values.
All right, let's get tactical. Enough theory. Launching your first thought leader ad is way more straightforward than you might think. I'm going to walk you through the 4 critical steps you need to take inside LinkedIn's Campaign Manager.
The whole setup really just comes down to these 4 things. It's a simple process, but nailing the details in each step is what separates a wasted ad budget from a campaign that totally crushes it. Let's break them down. Step 1 is your campaign objective. You have to select engagement. This part is non-negotiable, okay? It tells LinkedIn's algorithm that you want people to interact with your post. More likes, more comments, more shares, that all builds powerful social proof. And as a reward, the algorithm gives you lower ad costs. It's a win-win. Now listen up, because this next part is so important. In the audience settings, you have to make sure you uncheck Enable Audience Expansion and the LinkedIn Audience Network. As a B2B advertiser, your goal is to burn the pond, not the ocean. You want to spend your money only on that super specific target audience and only on LinkedIn's main feed, nowhere else. And this next step, step 3, this is the pivot point. Instead of clicking Create New Ad, you're going to hit Browse Existing Content. This is what lets you search for the employee or partner whose post you want to promote. This is the exact moment you turn a piece of authentic, organic content into a targeted, scalable ad.
Okay, the technical setup is done. Now for the most important part, the strategy. This is what separates campaigns that just get a few clicks from campaigns that actually drive revenue. This is how you make this whole thing truly profitable.
So, if you take only one thing away from this whole masterclass, please let it be this. Always test your content organically before you put a single dollar behind it. Your audience's organic reactions, the likes, the comments, the shares, that is the best predictor you will ever have for a winning ad. Don't guess, let the data tell you what's good. So what kind of content actually works? Well, you want to focus on posts that deliver real, genuine value. Think about sharing expert frameworks, telling stories that hit on a major pain point, or showing off amazing client results. Oh, and my personal favorite? Find posts where other people are saying great things about your brand. You can't buy that kind of third-party validation. It's absolute gold. Now let's talk measurement. You have to be ruthless here. For a cold audience, if your promoted post isn't hitting at least a 10% click-through rate, turn it off. It's not working. Simple as that. And also, keep an eye on your landing page clicks. If less than 10% of all the engagement is an actual click to your website, you're just getting vanity likes, not real buyer intent. And please avoid these costly mistakes. The number one way people waste money is by boosting content that hasn't already proven itself organically. Number two is leaving audience expansion turned on and just spraying their budget everywhere. And a very close third is forgetting to go back and edit the original post to add your call to action link before you start promoting it. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. The what, the why, the how. We've gone through the strategy and the pitfalls. So what's the one big idea that should really guide your brand's next move?
Look, your team's expertise, their stories, their unique insights, those are your most powerful marketing assets, period. Stop hiding them behind a corporate logo. Find the best voices inside your company and start turning up the volume on what they have to say.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In a world where people trust people more than ever, figuring out which thought leaders to amplify with your ad budget, well, that could be the single most important decision you make for your B2B growth this year. So who's it going to be? Hey, if you found this masterclass valuable, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into B2B marketing strategy. And I really want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me whose voice you're planning to amplify for your brand. Thanks so much for watching.